Have you ever thought you might be ruining your gut just by what you eat with yogurt? If you've been eating yogurt for better digestion or simply because it's part of your morning routine, you're not alone. Many people, especially as they get older, rely on it as a simple and natural way to support gut health. But here's what most people don't realize. Even the healthiest yogurt can backfire if you combine it with the wrong ingredients. In this video, we're diving into 5 common things people add to yogurt without realizing they're harming the very bacteria they're trying to help. From innocent-looking sweeteners to certain fruits and drinks that seem healthy, but aren't, these combinations might be quietly weakening your gut without any immediate symptoms. So if you've been eating yogurt daily and still dealing with stomach issues, low energy, or irregular digestion, stay with me until the end. Because once you know what to avoid, yogurt can return to what it was always meant to be, one of the simplest, most powerful tools to help you feel better from the inside out. Now let's get started. Number 1, artificial sweeteners like sucralose or aspartame. One of the most damaging things people unknowingly combine with yogurt is artificial sweeteners, especially sucralose, aspartame, and acesulfame potassium. These are often found in the little pink, blue, or yellow packets. You might stir into your bowl to make plain yogurt more palatable, or they might already be mixed into the so-called healthy, low-calorie flavored yogurts you pick up at the store. But here's what many don't realize. These sweeteners don't just skip the calories. They can sabotage your gut. Artificial sweeteners were designed to trick the tongue without feeding the body. But the problem is, your gut microbiome isn't so easily fooled. When those chemicals hit your intestines, your beneficial bacteria recognize them as foreign. And instead of supporting the growth of healthy strains like lactobacillus and bifidobacterium, they start to disrupt the balance, reduce diversity, and in some cases trigger an inflammatory response. That inflammation may not show up right away. You might just feel a little more bloated than usual, or your digestion might become unpredictable. Loose one day, sluggish the next. But over time, the consistent presence of artificial sweeteners changes the terrain of your gut, making it harder for the probiotics in yogurt to survive, flourish, and do their job. There's also another layer to this artificial. Sweeteners can increase sugar cravings. That's right, what feels like a healthier choice may actually make you more likely to reach for sugary snacks later in the day. And sugar, as we'll touch on later, feeds the harmful bacteria in your gut, creating a loop that's tough to break. I once met a man named Harold, 76, who ate yogurt every morning, swearing it was keeping him healthy. But when he mentioned adding 3 packets of sweetener to every bowl, I gently asked him to try going without it for 2 weeks. Just 2. By the end of that trial, his gas and bloating were gone. His stomach felt lighter. And the only thing he changed was removing the artificial stuff. So if you've been using these sweeteners in your yogurt, or choosing yogurts that are labeled sugar-free or diet-friendly, but filled with ingredients ending in O's or am, check the label. Less isn't always better, especially when it comes to what feeds your gut. Instead, opt for plain yogurt and add a small amount of raw honey or real fruit. If you need a touch of sweetness, the goal is to support the environment your good bacteria need, not poison it slowly with something your body never evolved to digest. Because when it comes to gut health, the little things add up. And a few grams of artificial sweetener a day might not seem like much, but to your microbiome, it's a message that says, you're not welcome here. And that's not the message you want to send. Number 2, fruits high in acid like pineapple or grapefruit. At first glance, adding fruit to yogurt seems like a perfect match. Natural, colorful, and nutritious. And in many cases it is. But not all fruits play nicely with the probiotics in yogurt. In fact, some of the most popular choices, like pineapple, grapefruit, and even kiwi, can quietly work against the gut-healing benefits you're aiming for. What makes these fruits problematic isn't just their flavor, it's their acidity. Highly acidic fruits can lower the pH of your digestive environment too much, making it more difficult for the live cultures in yogurt to survive and thrive. Yogurt itself is already slightly acidic, which your body can usually handle well. But when you pair it with acidic fruits, especially in large amounts, you increase the acidity in your gut to the point where the beneficial bacteria can become weakened, or worse, killed off before they even take root. That means the billions of probiotics you thought you were nourishing your body with could be going to waste, canceled out by the very thing you added to make your breakfast healthier. But the effects don't stop at probiotics. For many older adults, the increased acidity can also lead to digestive discomfort. If you've ever had yogurt with pineapple and then noticed, Bloating, gas, or a sour stomach shortly after? You're not imagining it. That interaction between the acidic fruit, enzymes, and dairy-based yogurt can cause fermentation in the gut, leading to irritation and poor absorption of nutrients. I remember a woman named Janice, 74, who always had her yogurt with a few slices of grapefruit. She loved the taste, but hated the way it made her feel afterward. Heavy, gassy, and unsettled. Once she swapped in low-acid fruits like bananas or cooked apples, her gut settled almost immediately. Her digestion improved, and for the first time in years, she said her stomach didn't feel like a mystery anymore. The point here isn't to avoid fruit. It's to choose fruits that support your gut, not challenge it. Bananas, blueberries, cooked pears, and soft peaches are all great choices. They provide gentle fiber and natural sweetness without disrupting the environment. That yogurt's live cultures need to work effectively. So the next time you reach for a handful of fruit to toss into your yogurt, pause and think about how your body reacts afterward. If you're noticing more discomfort than benefit, the fruit might be the problem, not the yogurt. And making that one small switch could mean the difference between feeding your gut and fighting it. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 2 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now let's move forward. Number 3, high-protein powders or shakes. It might sound counterintuitive at first. After all, yogurt is already considered a good source of protein, so adding a scoop of protein powder or drinking a protein shake alongside it should only enhance its nutritional value, right? Not quite. In fact, pairing yogurt with high-protein additives might be one of the least gut-friendly habits you can form, especially if you're over 60 and trying to protect your digestion. Here's why. Most commercial protein powders, whether they're whey-based, soy-based, or plant-based, are heavily processed. They often contain additives, preservatives, artificial flavors, thickeners, or emulsifiers like carrageenan and gums. These ingredients are used to make the powder mix smoothly, taste better, and preserve shelf life, but they're not designed with your gut in mind. In fact, they can do quite the opposite. When mixed with yogurt, these powders tend to slow down digestion significantly. And while slower digestion might sound like a good thing in theory, it's not always helpful for your gut bacteria. Probiotics thrive in an active, balanced digestive tract. But when digestion becomes sluggish, food lingers in the gut longer than it should, creating an environment where harmful bacteria and yeast can multiply, leading to gas, bloating, and a feeling of heaviness that can last for hours. And it's not just about the digestion speed. The chemical structure of some protein powders can actually reduce the survival rate of the live cultures in yogurt. The combination of added isolates, synthetic amino acids, and artificial ingredients may alter the gut's pH and create a hostile environment for the friendly bacteria you're trying to introduce. I once worked with a man named Frank, 68, who was in great shape and loved his morning smoothie, Greek yogurt, banana, spinach, and a big scoop of protein powder. But he always complained of feeling tired and bloated after breakfast. We removed just one thing, the powder. Within a week, his digestion improved, his bloating disappeared, and surprisingly, his energy went up. The rest of his meal stayed exactly the same. And for many seniors, especially those managing medications or age-related changes in digestion, this interaction can be even more disruptive. A gut that's already sensitive becomes more vulnerable when overloaded with synthetic or heavily processed nutrients, no matter how well-intentioned they may be. So if you're thinking of mixing your protein supplement with yogurt for an extra healthy boost, think twice. Ask yourself if you're doing it out of habit or if it's truly helping your body feel stronger and more energized. Chances are your gut may benefit more from real, whole foods like an egg on the side, a handful of nuts, or even a bit of cottage cheese, rather than a scoop of powder with a long list of unpronounceable ingredients. Because when it comes to gut health, simplicity wins. The fewer processed layers between you and your nutrition, the easier it is for your body to absorb what it needs and let go of what it doesn't. Number 4, caffeinated drinks like coffee or tea. Many of us start the day with two familiar comforts, yogurt and a hot cup of coffee or tea. They seem harmless enough. In fact, they might feel like part of a healthy, energizing routine. But what most people don't realize is that combining yogurt with caffeinated drinks, especially on an empty stomach, can quietly interfere with digestion and cancel out the benefits you're hoping to get from those live probiotic cultures. Caffeine, particularly in coffee and strong black teas, stimulates the digestive tract. At first glance, that sounds like a good thing. But stimulation isn't always regulation. What caffeine often does, especially as we age, is irritate the lining of the stomach and speed up gastric emptying, meaning it pushes food through the stomach before it's fully digested. When that happens with yogurt, the probiotics may not have enough time to settle into your gut and do their work before being flushed further along the digestive tract, often before they've had a chance to colonize. That means you could be swallowing billions of healthy bacteria and losing most of them before they make a difference. But there's another layer. Caffeine can alter the pH of your stomach, increasing acidity temporarily. And while yogurt's natural acidity can usually be balanced out by the body, pairing it with caffeine creates a compounded effect. The environment becomes more hostile for delicate probiotic strains, reducing their ability to survive long enough to make it into your intestines, where they're actually needed. Some older adults also find that this combination worsens symptoms like reflux, bloating, or that uneasy, sloshy stomach feeling that sticks around longer than it should. And it's not just about discomfort. It's a sign that your digestive system is having to work harder than it needs to, simply because two common morning items aren't playing well together. I remember a woman named Lois, 81, who swore by her daily routine of yogurt and tea. But she also kept struggling with gas and unpredictable digestion. She didn't want to give up either one, so we simply moved her tea to mid-morning and suggested drinking warm water instead with breakfast. Within days, the bloating disappeared and the yogurt started helping again. Now, this doesn't mean you need to give up your favorite morning drink altogether. It just means giving your gut some breathing room. Let your yogurt work its magic without rushing it through with a shot of caffeine. Try eating yogurt first, then waiting at least 30 to 45 minutes before enjoying your coffee or tea. Or simply move your caffeine to a different part of your day. Because in the end, it's not just about what you eat. It's about what you combine, when you combine it, and how that pairing affects the delicate balance of your digestion. And when you protect that balance, your gut rewards you with energy clarity. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 4 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now let's move forward. Number 5, cold cereal with added sugar. It's a combination that's almost nostalgic, yogurt and cereal. Crunchy, creamy, sweet, and simple. But while it may look like a balanced breakfast, adding most boxed cereals to your yogurt could quietly be setting your gut up for more harm than healing, especially when those cereals are packed with one thing your gut bacteria can't stand: added sugar. Here's the problem. Most store-bought cereals, even the ones that seem healthy, contain high levels of refined sugar, corn syrup, or sneaky sweeteners that go by names like maltodextrin, cane juice, or glucose solids. And when you mix those into your yogurt, you're doing two things at once. You're feeding your bad bacteria, and you're making it harder for your good bacteria to survive. Yogurt, especially when it contains live cultures, is meant to restore balance in the gut. It introduces beneficial strains that help support digestion, reduce inflammation, and strengthen the gut lining. But when you add sugar-heavy cereal to that same bowl, the harmful microbes, like certain strains of yeast or gas-producing bacteria, start to thrive instead. They feed on the sugar and multiply quickly, crowding out the helpful bacteria you just introduced with your yogurt. The result: you might experience bloating, gas, and discomfort even though you thought you were eating something healthy. Over time, this imbalance, called dysbiosis, can weaken your gut lining, increase inflammation, and make your digestive system more sensitive to foods that never used to be a problem. I once spoke with a man named Al, 73, who loved his yogurt and cereal every morning. He chose granola with natural honey clusters and thought he was making a smart choice. But when we looked closer at the nutrition label, it had 19 grams of added sugar per serving, and that didn't count what he was adding himself on top. After switching to plain oats and sliced almonds, his digestion improved within the week. And he told me it was the first time he'd felt light after breakfast in years. It's not that you can never have crunch with your yogurt. The goal is to choose toppings that support your gut, not sabotage it. Instead of sugar-laced cereal, try chia seeds, unsweetened coconut flakes, crushed walnuts, or even a spoonful of flax meal. These add texture and nutrition without feeding the very microbes that cause trouble. Because your gut is like a garden. Yogurt plants the seeds, but sugar grows the weeds. And when your breakfast becomes an environment where harmful bacteria get more fuel than the good ones, you'll feel it. Maybe not immediately, but over time, your gut tells the story. So next time you reach for the box of cereal to sprinkle on your yogurt, flip it over. Look at the sugar content. Ask yourself what message you're sending to your body. And if that message isn't one of nourishment, it might be time to try something different. Because when it comes to gut health, small choices matter. And what feels like an innocent breakfast habit might just be the quiet reason your digestion keeps letting you down. Final thoughts. As we close out this video, I want to leave you with something that often gets overlooked in all the talk about gut health. It's not just about what you add to your diet, it's about what you pair together. Even the most nutritious foods can lose their power, or worse, do harm, when they're combined with things that work against them. Yogurt, on its own, can be one of the most powerful tools for healing and strengthening your gut. It delivers live cultures, supports immunity, and helps create a digestive environment where good bacteria can thrive. But when you unknowingly mix it with artificial sweeteners, acidic fruits, protein powders, caffeine, or sugary cereals, you send conflicting messages to your system. And your gut, already working hard to stay balanced, ends up confused, inflamed, or overwhelmed. The good news, these are easy fixes. And you don't have to give up your yogurt, you just need to give it better company. So, which one of these 5 surprised you the most? Are you reaching for a different topping tomorrow? Or maybe switching up when you drink your coffee? Whatever it is, small changes like this can have a big impact, especially as we get older and our bodies become more sensitive to these quiet interactions. You deserve a gut that works with you, not against you. A body that digests smoothly, absorbs efficiently, and helps you feel clear, calm, and in control. And most of all, you deserve to enjoy the foods that are meant to heal you, without unknowingly canceling out their power. Thank you for joining us today. We'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment below and share one thing you learned today and how you plan to use it in your life. Your thoughts are important to us, so don't hesitate to share them. Reading your comments gives us great motivation and encouragement. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please like, subscribe, and share. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Thanks for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video.